This is Edwin Dearborn, another edition of Growth Driven. How are you? Today we're going to be talking about the most powerful public relations activity that you could engage on, particularly if you're a startup, you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, you're that small business without a big budget, without access to public relations people. This one's for you. Edwin Dearborn here, another edition of Growth Driven. I'm going to be talking to you about the most powerful public relations strategy you could access and deploy, particularly if you're a small business person, you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, you're an agent, you don't have a big budget, you don't have access to PR firms in New York or Hollywood. How do you do public relations within your budget, within your skill sets, within your resources? This is a very important point because, there's marketing, and you could say that public relations is kind of a sub-technology under marketing because they're both about getting the message out. But real public relations is about creating relationships, creating goodwill, putting out your best work, talking about the people that you've helped, building relations in your community. Maybe you volunteer, or you're part of your church or synagogue or a community organization, and you as a brand go out there and get involved. You get seen, you get known, you rub elbows. This is all part of public relations. And I'm not here to give you an entire lecture or an entire episode on all the levels of public relations. So if you're a public relations person with a degree in public relations from the Wharton School of Business or from USC Business School, you're going to find a lot of holes in this because I am not trying to talk everything about public relations. If you really want to know about public relations, there's many good, well-written books on the subject. You can take classes and courses on the subject of public relations. I am talking about public relations at a level that an individual without a lot of skill sets, without a big budget, can start doing right now. You see, the majority of people that I service, the majority of people that I talk to are not individuals that are going to go hire a PR agency. They're not going to hire an agent. It all is upon them. All their goodwill is upon them as an individual. So you're a mortgage broker, real estate, insurance guy, small business owner down the street, you got a coffee shop, you own a laundromat, whatever it is, how do you get good public relations going? Well, let me just share a quote that here is below. Content marketing is the new PR. That's from Forbes magazine. And you can read the entire article if you want to. Just type in content marketing is the new PR by Forbes, and you will find the article and you can read it for yourself. So again, plenty of information out there about how this is. But I wanted to speak to this to those that tune into my show or will listen later on to my podcast as we upload this to podcast channels. Goes up about 15 channels. It also goes to my YouTube channel. So you may find this 6 months from now in search. And you're asking yourself, how do I do publicity and PR? And the key is you need to put out some content. See, no one is going to talk about you like you, but you have to do it in a way that it's not bragging. And that's the key. How do I feature what I do without bragging? And so that content that you want to feature your best foot forward is you could show photos of you volunteering at the local community activities. Here you are volunteering for the police department or for a local hospital or for a children's charity. You could start posting photos about what you're doing in the community, what your brand is doing to contribute back to the community, how it's helping individuals within the community, the jobs that you're creating, the opportunities that you're creating. You could be doing case studies. You could be getting reviews, talking about from the point of view of the person that you serve, how you grew their business or how you eased their problem, how in some way you made their life better through your brand, through your services and products. That's great publicity. You could put that on a video. You could video them talking about your brand. You could have them posting their video on their social channels. That would be good PR for a small business person that doesn't have access to all the big resources that an Inc. 5000 company would have in terms of hiring an agency and creating professional content and getting out press releases and doing big events. On the micro level, there is a publicity and PR play for you as a small brand. The show Growth Driven, when I bring on guests and I interview them, and then I give them the links to the video and to the podcast, and I ask them to share it. And all I'm doing is interviewing them and showcasing their brilliance. I just happen to be the host. But what happens is they take that content and they send it out to their social channels. They send it out to their email database. And all of a sudden, I'm being exposed now to hundreds, if not thousands of other people. That is, content is the new PR. So I'm not marketing directly saying, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me every time I do a video. I'm bringing on here and I'm giving away free information. I'm giving away insights. I'm showcasing expertise of leaders within their field, whether they be authors or consultants or business owners. And by doing that and involving and collaborating with these people and collaborating with my community, I'm building my PR. I make sure that I showcase the success stories, the Yelp reviews, the Google reviews, what people got from working with me, the benefits, the results, the achievements that have come about from working with me. And if you don't put that type of stuff out there and you don't make an effort to showcase your involvement, how your products and services are effectively bringing people's lives into a state of transformation or state of betterment, then people won't know. Then you're a vacuum. And versus being a force of influence, you're being a complete vacuum. And you're going to have to fill that vacuum, and you're going to have to be strategic about it. It can just be a matter of how can I get involved in the community? How can I showcase the things that I'm doing to help people? How can I involve and collaborate with influencers, small, large, of all sizes, have them talk about it? How can I document the success stories that I'm creating? How do I document those? And then how do I proliferate the internet with those success stories via my website, my social media, videos, podcasts, etc. And when you really get a grasp of how you can take this quote by Forbes, content marketing is the new PR, you are doing something that so many small business people, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and startups just don't leverage. You talk to them about, publicity and PR, and they get this concept that that's for the big companies. Publicity and PR, that's for people with a lot of money. That's sophisticated. Based on this quote, it doesn't have to be sophisticated. Content marketing is the new PR. And that's from Forbes magazine. This isn't my viewpoint. This is where the future of publicity and PR is. How are you creating content? How are you getting that content to influencers? How are you getting that to various sites, whether it be your website, industry, blogs, etc. When you can really wrap your wits around how you can showcase your best, how you can showcase your influence, your effectiveness, and get that on multiple channels, believe me, that type of PR will come back to you in terms of more willingness to work with you, a favorable opinion before they even show up. That's what you want. You want to say, I've heard about you. I've seen your success stories. I went on the website. I saw your interviews. You seem like you know what you're doing. You seem like you're effective. You're the right person to partner with. If you're not spreading all that information across the internet, then again, you look like a zero and zeros don't get the business. Heroes get the business, not zeros. Now, if you need help with this, reach out to me. I am a virtual chief marketing officer. I help small businesses, startups, entrepreneurs develop strategies and their written plans to leverage content marketing to not only develop good PR, but ultimately attract for you your dream clients. This has been Edwin Dearborn, another edition of Growth Driven. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.